auspicious greeting to all friends from around the world. This is Venerable Zhixing from Guang Shilai Temple in Los Angeles, United States. Thank you for joining our online English Dharma service. It is nice to share the Dharma with all of you again. The heart of the Buddhist teachings is the Four Noble Truths: sufferings, causes of sufferings, cessation of sufferings, and the path to cessation of sufferings. We have various problems, or we encounter different hardship or obstacle in our life. All these problems and hardships give us a lot of defilement and sufferings. How can we eradicate these sufferings? The Buddha had taught us to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. It provides a clear guide and practice instructions that lead us to the attainment of Buddhahood and liberation from sufferings. It is also a path that had been practiced by all the Buddhas in the past. It then begs the question of what is the Noble Eightfold Path and how do we practice it in our life? The Noble Eightfold Path is right view, right intention, right speech, right actions, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These 8 are not steps for us to practice them in sequence like one after another. Rather, we practice all of them together in our daily life, sort of like the intertwining wire in a cable, which required the contribution of all wires in order for the cable to work. Let us look at what each of these factors is. Right view is the forerunner and the guide for the entire path. It ensures that we're on the right path. It serves as a compass for us in this path. Why is right view being placed first on this path? Our view affects our actions and the decision that we make. Once, there was a lady who believed in superstitions. When she bought a house, she had invited a feng shui master to take a look at the house to see if everything is okay. The feng shui master told her that there were 3 ghosts living in the house. At night, when she lived in the house alone, all that she could think of was that there were 3 ghosts in the house with her. She became very scared and filled with paranoia. Ultimately, she couldn't take it anymore and bought another house. Again, she invited the feng shui master to look at her new house, but the master told her that the new house had a very negative atmosphere. The lady became more depressed every day, and ultimately she committed suicide. So from this story, we can see that our view on people and on things affect us a lot. Having a negative and wrong view will lead us to more sufferings, and sometimes doing things that we regret. This is why it is important for us to have the right view. With right view, our action, speech, and thoughts would be righteous and wholesome as well. Right view involves a correct understanding of the Buddha's teachings. We should know that all phenomena arise from causes and conditions. Causes, given the required conditions, will produce the corresponding effects. We reap what we sowed. Thus, if we do good deed, we will have good effects. On the other hand, if we do bad deed, we will have negative consequences. Whatever that we do or speak or think, there will be karma. We should also keep in mind that all phenomena are impermanent, meaning that they are changing all the time. Currently, various countries around the world are still facing the COVID-19 pandemic. How should we face it? We should accept that it is the current causes and conditions. However, we should also know that it will come to pass. Causes and conditions are changing all the time. Scientists and medical researchers are working hard to create the vaccine. If everyone can do his or her part by wearing face masks, keeping a 6 feet social distance, and try to stay at home whenever possible, then the transmission of the virus can be under control and the chances of people catching the virus will decrease. We're all interdependent, thus by being compassionate to others, we are being compassionate to ourselves as well. We're helping ourselves by helping others. Right intention is also known as right thoughts. It is about having a mind free from greed, anger, and ignorance. The Buddha explained the right intention as threefold: the intention of renunciation, the intention of goodwill, and the intention of harmlessness. We know that desires is one of the root cause of sufferings. Because of this, we would want to let go of our craving. When we see that, like ourselves, all other living beings want to be happy and that they are subject to sufferings, it will inspire us to have loving kindness and compassion to others. The consideration that all beings seek happiness give rise to thoughts of goodwill, the loving wish that they would be well, happy, and peaceful. And the consideration that beings are exposed to sufferings give rise to thoughts of harmlessness, the compassionate wish that they would be free from sufferings. In the pandemic, we should learn to let go of the desires of going out, to gather with friends and families, or the desires to dine out or shop. This is being considerate of others and be compassionate to them. We hope that everyone will be healthy, safe, and free from sufferings. We can do that by doing our part and also dedicate our merit back to everyone every day, wishing that the pandemic will end soon and everyone will be happy, healthy, and safe. Right speech is about abstaining from false speech, slanderous speech, harsh speech, and idle chatter. We should speak words of that are true and free of delusion. As the ancient sage told us, disasters arise from the mouth. It's telling us that the speech can cause conflict, harms to others, and create enemies. In the current time with so much chaos and uncertainties, we should give words of encouragement and positivities to others. Those with COVID-19 are quarantined at home, thus they are sick, lonely, and filled with fear. This combination tends to lead one to think negatively. Therefore, they need words of encouragement and support even more than ever. Right action is about refraining from killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. Instead, we should always do wholesome deeds. In the time of pandemic, we should wear face masks, keep social distancing, and wash our hands frequently. We can donate food to food drive for those in need. We can help seniors to do grocery shoppings, and so on. Right livelihood is about earning a living and supporting oneself through proper means. We should abstain from making a living through a profession that brings harm to others. During the pandemic, if one has a job as an essential worker, such as medical professionals, police, firefighter, staff at grocery stores, and so on, one works with cares and does his or her best at work. Right effort is also known as right diligence. It is about preventing the arising of unwholesome thoughts that have not arisen, abandoning unwholesome thoughts that have already arisen, giving rise of wholesome thoughts that have not yet arisen, and maintaining and increasing the wholesome thoughts that have already arisen. Basically, it's about having wholesome thought every single moment. Facing with so much negativities in our life, we need to remind ourselves to change perspective and think positive. Because things are changing, there will always be hope. Maybe our life is not going according to plan due to the pandemic, but things are uncertain. Crisis and sufferings can be the beginning of an opportunities and a chance to gain insight. Just like the beautiful and pure lotus is grown from mud, we gain insight through sufferings. We have to remind ourselves to be positive at all times. Right mindfulness is about diligently aware, mindful, and attentive with regard to our body, feeling, activities of mind, and mental qualities such as ideas, thoughts, conceptions, and so on. It is important for us to maintain right mindfulness at all times so that we can be aware of any thoughts and feelings that arise. Only if we are mindful of the thoughts and feelings that arise will we be able to make the right choice of actions and speech, because action and speech arise from the mind. In times of pandemic, when we want to go out to do grocery shoppings, we would notice that we need to be very mindful at all times. We need to wear our mask, refrain from touching our face, wear a pair of gloves, and bring alcohol spray with us. We go to the grocery store and do our shoppings, during which we need to be mindful in maintaining a 6 feet distance with others and refrain from touching too many different things. Once we're done, we'll open our car doors with a piece of tissues and put the grocery bags inside the car and probably spray it down. We would then need to carefully take off the gloves without touching the surface of the glove after we sit in the car, and finally wash our hand with sanitizer before driving home. Without being mindful, we might bring the virus home with us without knowing it. Right concentration is using samadhi to focus the mind and settle the distracted body so that we can better cultivate ourselves. And samadhi is exclusively wholesome one-pointedness, the concentration in a wholesome state of mind. Ultimately, cultivating right meditative concentration will reveal our Buddha nature to us and allow us to discover our true self. We can't develop concentration and sense of mindfulness through practicing meditation. This is also why meditation is an important Buddhist practice. As we have many stress and defilement in life, we should take some time to meditate every day. We may think that we're very busy and it's hard to find time to meditate. In such case, you can start with something manageable, such as just sit and focus on your breath for 5 to 10 minutes before you go to bed or after you wake up in the morning. As you meditate, just focus on your breath. Even though you may have a lot of thoughts in your mind, just be aware that they're there and that they disappeared. However, put all your attention on your breathing. By giving ourselves this quiet time, we would be able to train our sense of mindfulness and become more aware of the thoughts and feelings inside us. This is especially important for us during the pandemic, as we're forced to change our way of life and deal with lots of inconvenience. Frustration, agitation, anger, depression, and fear easily arise and overwhelm us. Observing these thoughts and feelings without responding to them during meditation will help us in working with these feelings and help ourselves in changing perspective. The Noble Eightfold Path, right view, right intention, right speech, right actions, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration is a path that will lead us to happiness and ending of sufferings. This path is not a theory, but a practice that we should all take up and cultivate in our daily life. If we just listen to the teaching without practicing it, this teaching will not help us at all. Hopefully, everyone would take some time to contemplate upon how one can apply the Noble Eightfold Path in life and really practice it. Last but not least, thank you for joining us in this cultivation session. May Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless everyone with happiness and peace. May everyone be safe and well. 阿弥陀佛。